Alright, we're going to go Salty Shores Night for Endpoint versus Servette. Servette coming into Group C as the only RLRS team have not been able to dominate like the other groups have. Of course, Sandrock, Notorious Legion, RCD, Triple Trouble have been doing damage against RLCS teams as non-RLCS teams themselves. But Servette were only able to take Barcelona to Game 5. They couldn't get the win. But this is a really good chance for them to try and make something happen in this matchup. They still have a chance to qualify. They need to, get a good last result against Veloce as well, if that's going to happen. Let's get Game 1 underway. Endpoint against Servette, if everybody joins. We do have everybody joining. Now, the previous Servette series that we saw didn't look too good for them, but then they really turned it around, and Yagi in particular was looking impressive. Full Swiss lineup. Very interesting to see. Meanwhile, we did have Endpoint in their first series of the tournament, getting 3-0'd by Veloce. Veloce have looked very impressive in TEI though, so that was somewhat expected. Oh, point blank range miss by Virtuoso. He'll be kicking himself for that one. Sort of rushed the shot a little bit. And this is Endpoint's chance to get right back up there in the standings. Barcelona ahead of them have already lost to Veloce and beaten Servette. If Endpoint can do likewise, beat Servette, then that'll leave Barcelona and Endpoint on 1-1 scores, with each other yet to play as they fight for the last spot in playoffs. But that's not going to be too easy if Servette have anything to say about it. Nice early shot by Mirror, far post position. And although Relating Wave did well to avoid a couple demos, he couldn't recover. Just like the last series that we saw ended, this one begins with pressure on a goalkeeper leading to an uncontested back post shot. Nice save there by Mirror. Yagi has to be careful though. He sent that one right into Relating Wave in the middle. He got it past the first man, but he'll be wishing that he didn't, because really that touch by Nachitao wouldn't have been as scary as this one from Relating Wave. And straight away, Endpoint are back in the game. Yeah, thank you for all the support still, guys. I'm going to do shout-outs between the series. But if you have to go before then I do appreciate you. Brian does as well, even though he's not talking today. But yeah, now that we're 1-1 again, I can ask you guys unbiased, of course. Who do you have winning this one? Can we get S's in the chat for Servette? Can we get E's in the chat for Endpoint? Personally, I have to go with Endpoint, because although RLRS teams have been performing well in this tournament, I think that Endpoint, being a recent RLRS team themselves, should be able to understand that playstyle a bit better. Hold on a second though. That's not exactly understanding the playstyle. Yagi just too quick, and Relating Wave way off the line. And that is 2-1 to Servette. I spoke too soon. All you guys typing S's are going to be happy all of a sudden. Servette have still got I think the hardest route out of all of the teams besides Veloce. Veloce have already qualified from this group, but Servette have got the hardest job qualifying besides them, because they still have to play them. So it's an absolute must-win series for Servette. Whereas Endpoint, they realistically can qualify if they lose today. They need a couple games though. But they really won't want to be doing that. They don't want to go down that route. They'd rather get the win here and then just have to beat Barca by any score in order to qualify. But dangerous defending here from Servette as Endpoint start to up the aggression. It was Relating Waves plays in offense that caused Veloce some discomfort in their series loss to the Group C league leaders. Group C leaders, I should say. So that's the man who Endpoint are looking at to get this comeback started, and it is the man with the assist early on here. Yagi just a bit too slow to this one, didn't have the boost to really contest the ball. Had somebody looking to bump him on the goal line as well. Good follow by Nachitao. He does tie us up again. and they seal the deal. Servette look competitive, but they're, I think, missing that X factor that a lot of the other teams have had. That's a great save by Mirror. He's keeping his team in the game. You know, it took a while for them to really show up against Barcelona, and they're not looking as lively as some of the other RLRS teams have early on in series. I think that's been one of the advantages RLRS teams have had, is they've been able to just go hot out the gate, play faster than the RLCS teams are expecting, catch them off guard. This matchup has been mostly Endpoint. They're attacking. That's a couple of shots. Looking dangerous, but Servette are hanging on. Awkward positions though. Low boost for multiple members. Endpoint, if they could just keep the ball away from the back wall, give themselves a great chance to score. Still in a favourable spot, even though they're the team in defense. They've got more boost at their disposal. Relating Wave tries to hit them on the counter. Yagi with a big interception. This might be a chance now for Servette to make something happen. Block on clear from Mirror. Yagi up again, this time uncontested. But he doesn't get the best touch on that one. Straight into the ceiling. He stays with it though. Yagi not leaving the ball for a moment. Now Zaf there to the crossbar. Mirror's up, and that is the crossbar to the rescue of Endpoint. They did not have anybody ready to save that one. Yagi rushes the challenge. Servette have come to life in the last minute. And Endpoint, honestly, are lucky to still be in a tie game situation here. Beaten to the ball again. And it's only the fact that Yagi and Zafair couldn't decide who to go in for that left Endpoint without a shot to save. They can't get the ball clear. Endpoint is running right into challenges over and over again. Finally one ball goes through. Yagi's going to send it wide of the net. But that's more like it from Servette. They're attacking the ball quickly now. They're making life difficult for Endpoint, not giving them free reign of the midfield. It looks like overtime will be where game one is decided. This is really important for Servette to get a good start in this one, not to go down like they did against Barca. Likewise, Endpoint still looking for their first win in TEI. Losing 3-0 to Veloce. It's expected, but not ideal for them. Slow shot from Mirror. Not much of a test for Endpoint. Another hit, slow hit rather from Mirror. Needs to be careful with his power touches right now. Relating Wave. He's been caught out of position twice in defense this game. Making sure to stay back now. Doesn't want to end up underneath any of the shots that Servette are sending his way. Zafair up. Uncontested, but also unable to make contact on the ball. It's a bit of a sloppy overtime so far. Not a single pass has been attempted by either team. They're just playing keep away. Relating Wave is taken out of the air. Nachitao steps in. Gets the ball clear. That's a really nice hit actually by Yagi. Oh, but he's in an awkward spot now and he almost own goals. Endpoint had follow-up as well. It's so important that the Servette boys get the ball clear. They are not looking comfortable now. Relating Wave uncontested. He misses as well. Both teams are all over the place in overtime. Endpoint should have had the win. They need to put these shots on target. They have to test the goalkeeper if nothing else. It was almost too easy for Relating Wave. He had too long to think about it, and when he finally made a jump for the ball, he missed. It's a shot from Zafair that's looking most threatening now. Mirror steps in now. Yagi, Virtuoso, staying in the way of both of them. Servette got away with murder there defensively, but at the same time Endpoint didn't punish them, and that was just as bad from them in offense. So neither team really deserving the game in overtime. Still up for grabs. Mirror with a big dunk onto Relating Wave. Nachitao's save has a lot to be desired. There's Virtuoso helping him out. Accidental touch almost by Zafair on his exit from the play. Mirror sends it back in. Relating Wave's up early, but didn't need to be that early. There was nobody beating him, and it's an infield pass sent into the bar by Mirror. Servette looked the more deadly in overtime. They've had some shots that have come close. Endpoint, when they had their opportunities, didn't look confident at all. Big demo by Virtuoso. He's downfield. Relating wave. Gonna look to find him. Nachitao also. Long overtime in game 1. Endpoint had the better chance, but Servette have made more of their chances. Both teams looking way off the competition coming out of the other groups. That might be the game. It's off the bar and the post. Great save by Mirror. He keeps Servette in it. Finally a great play from one of these two teams. As Mirror keeps his team alive. That's into the post for Virtuoso. He positioned himself so well at the back, but couldn't find the target again. Endpoint struggling so much with accuracy in game 1. And if they can't hit the target and Servette keep hitting the bar, then I guess we're not going to have a winner in this one. Could go on for quite a while. It's Endpoint with a better position here. No goalkeeper for the time being for Servette. Mirror misses. He didn't have the boost to reach the ball. And he continues to run down the line with it. Still no boost from Mirror. As we reach 4 minutes into overtime, Zafir, a key touch into the corner. Relatively uninspiring by both teams. I won't lie to you. This is not the type of offense that we become accustomed to this tournament. That's a lot better though. Yagi with a double touch on target. And it's been Servette who have had the moments of brilliance. Unfortunately for them though, they've let their guard down and they've been caught out of position several times in this game, and a better team would have punished them. So far Endpoint have not been that better team. Zafir dribbles Yagi. He also dribbles an opponent. This is awkward for Servette. One of the longest overtimes we've seen all tournament long. And with both teams plagued with poor accuracy, it doesn't look like finishing soon. Now it does! Oh, Mirror off the bar. Servette still really the team who have looked for it more. They've shot with real confidence on the opposing team's net. Yagi again, and there is the winning goal. And in the end, you have to say that they're the team who deserved it more. Endpoint had, I think, still better opportunities, more clear-cut chances, but they missed every single one of them. Servette, meanwhile, eventually hit the target. They had some much more difficult to hit shots in this game, in this overtime especially. But credit to them, at least they were going for these shots. They were giving it a go. But Endpoint, they need to really step it up here. They're not looking confident at all. You look at the teams that have been doing well in this tournament. Teams like NLE, teams like Sandrock Gaming, teams like Veloce as well. They're the teams who are top in the groups, and they've been the teams who have looked the most confident in their plays. RCD even as well, that we're going to see later on today, trying to go top of group D even further. They've been making comebacks, they've been hitting shots, they've been playing quickly. But Endpoint did none of those things in that last game. That's a great save by Virtuoso. Pass from Zafir was ideal. Servette finding form. Maybe that game winner. It's giving them confidence now. Virtuoso tries to get the ball middle. Mirror's in the way of him. It's into the middle for Zafir. Mirror lands on Relating Wave. He's perhaps looking for a boost steal there. Doesn't pressure the ball on his exit. That is really questionable. Leaving the goalkeeper completely alone. But it looks like they're going to get away with it again. There's been certainly some moments defensively for Servette that have been questionable. That one again, just a ball bouncing across the box with nobody making contact. But if you want one moment that really tells you the full story of this series, it was that one right there. The ball bounced across the box and Servette had nobody ready to intercept it, but likewise there was nobody in position to put a shot on target for Endpoint, who are still looking completely unlike themselves. No confidence at all, and it's an open net missed by Mirror. Absolute disaster for Servette. They could have had a 1-0 lead in game 2, but Mirror has put the shot into the bar, and I don't know what to say to you guys. They've just not had the accuracy. Oh my goodness, again Mirror into the bar. They just can't stop hitting the crossbar. It took them well over 5 minutes in overtime before they found the back of the net last time. And it's the same problem. Mirror twice in a row. He has to test the goalie there. If it is an opportunity as good as that, it needs to go on target. It just has to be bar down and in. We've seen several shots from other teams doing that. There's a good follow-up. Virtuoso shows him how it's done. But it wasn't before another crossbar challenge from Relating Wave. You know, this one actually did make sense though. If you're going to hit the bar, it better be when a teammate's following up. Oh man alive. This has not been a series to watch if you're about the accuracy in 3v3. And Barcelona, who are sitting second place in the group right now, are probably not too scared of playing against this Endpoint team. But they've not had the best consistency either, so anything could happen really. Veloce sitting pretty at the top of the group. Apart from that, everything else looks like an absolute mess in Group C. Virtuoso gets it middle towards Relating Wave. Yagi accepts the 50-50 with the last man. Nice dodge by Mirror on the goal line. He tries to pass out to Zafir, but he hits it to Relating Wave by accident. No boost on several Servette members as they defend for quite a long time here. Key interception by Yagi. Wanted to bail out a goalkeeper from an awkward position, but where's the passing? Yagi had the option here. He's just giving the ball away. Virtuoso accepts the possession donation with open arms. Mirror tries to find Yagi lurking in the opposition half. That's saved as well, and it's a big team discussion for Servette in the corner again. They're all committing into this one position. Off the ball runs by both these teams have left a lot to be desired. The passing hasn't really been happening because nobody's moving off the ball into positions to make themselves easy to pass to. Need to take a look at Dignitas games, see what they're doing, and take notes if they're going to make any run in this tournament beyond the group stage. Zafir keeps the ball safely near the back wall. Endpoint are satisfied to sit on a 1-0 advantage here, and I would be as well if I was against opposition who hit the crossbar on every shot. 45 seconds remaining. Servette can't get the ball out of their own half. They're struggling to pass the ball out of defense. Everything's a soft clear straight towards an orange car. And Endpoint just need to keep rotating and they'll be just fine for the remaining 30 seconds. Servette really have to change their defensive strategy here. If they're not going to pass the ball, then there has to be a dribble into a 50-50, because every single ball is just going straight to the third man of Endpoint. And they haven't figured that out for the entirety of game number 2. They've played this one start to finish with 0 possession plays in mind. I think we had a couple of passes in offense, but it's the passing in defense that's really let them down here. And that's what's allowed Endpoint to just close this one out so comfortably. Almost no fear at the end of the game. There were a few scares early on. Mirror hitting the bar twice. There was a good pass as well before that, which was well saved by Virtuoso. But the possession play defensively for Servette has to improve significantly if they're going to have control of this series. Endpoint, they didn't have to play very well to win that one, but they did get the win, and that's all that matters. We've had game 5s all day today. Maybe another one in this matchup as well. Relating Wave with the first opportunity. He sends that one to the back wall. Nachitao is going to keep the ball high in the blue half again. Great timing by Yagi. He did a little bit middle there for Mirror. That's better. From Servette, that's exactly what they need to do if they're going to be a problem for Endpoint this series. Well, that, and of course not hitting the bar. Oh, Nachitao with an open net off the post, and showing us that it's not only Servette who have problems in offense. That's better though by Yagi. What a solo play by him. And Endpoint get punished for missing what was a wide open net rebound. Zafir shows him how it's done. 1-0 to Servette. You know, from what I've seen so far, Servette have had the higher peak ability in this series. They have struggled to stay composed in defense, and they've struggled to hit the target in the final third, but at least in terms of potential, they look like the better team. Endpoint, incredibly uninspiring and not much creativity in offense, unlike a lot of their counterparts these days. And like I said earlier, with Barcelona still to play, they're going to need to step up in that regard. Virtuoso, he tries to bring the ball down. Relating wave, gives it away to Zafair, who's going to try and find Yagi in the middle, and he does. And Endpoint are punished again for incredibly careless defending. Relating wave, just a love tap into the corner there. Gets the ball past absolutely nobody. And then Servette connect to pass in offense to double their lead. Mirror misses his own read in defense. He made it difficult for himself there. Yagi as well with a miss. Zafair's alone at the back. And Endpoint had nobody over there to put pressure on him. Relating wave steps in. He's only been able to pop the ball middle, but he does follow up pretty quickly on his own touch there. It's not too scary, nothing that Yagi can't deal with. Virtuoso keeps it in the corner. He's taken out of the play. And now Mirror wins the race to the ball in the rebound position. Servette look like they've found some form here. They're actually hitting their shots and they're passing the ball well. That was an opportunity for Mirror. You'll wish he had that one back, because all he did is give it away to the goalie. But with 2 minutes gone in the game, it's Endpoint who look lost, and unlike game 2, they're not going to get an easy win here. They need to actually do something if they're going to win this one. Something besides hitting the ball into their own corner. Back pass with Zafair. That's a sort of mindful possession that's been lacking for Servette. Nice 50-50 as well by Zafair. And a great save. That's brilliant by the man who's been stuck in defense alone for large parts of the game. Had a lot to do there. Oh, Yagi's missed his first touch. He will get the second one, and Zafair has come to the rescue again. Zafair's probably thinking, come on guys, I don't want to do all the defending myself. Somebody else help me out here. That's a great pass. And a decent shot. It's off the post. Close, but no cigar again for Servette. You know, with their shooting being a bit better this game, you can forgive them one miss, but these should all be on target. Every single one of these shots should be on target. The passing has been significantly improved since game number 2. They're seeing the rewards with offensive opportunities. Great save by Mirror, but he can't get the ball clear. And Endpoint are going to get on the score sheet. Great pass by Nachitao. That is the difference maker there. He's expecting, or rather he made the opponents expect a shot, and he dropped it down to a teammate instead. Back corner kickoff by Endpoint. Can they double up here? Zafair, just like Mirror earlier on, looking for the demos, but oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What on earth has happened to Relating Wave in defense? He completely misses his read. He's in no man's land, jumps up and clean whiffs the overhead. And now it's 3-1. Perhaps even more surprisingly, Servette have hit another open net. They're doing well in game 3. Accuracy paying off. Virtuoso, tight angle shot, that's going to bounce across towards Nachitao. Just like I said earlier in the game, Servette have looked like the better team when they're actually thinking about where they're hitting the ball. And that wasn't much thought into that one. Relating Wave into the bar though. And it's another letdown for Endpoint. They are not looking threatening at all at times in this series. The one pass from Nachitao, that is their glimmer of hope that they had in this game, and unfortunately it's been overclouded. Yagi flies back down to dunk to clear. Servette have been the quicker of the two teams in this game, and I think it might be a bit too late now for Endpoint. They've tried to up the pace here, but have they given themselves enough time to come back in game number 3? I don't think they have. Servette had to go to overtime to win game 1. They're not going to have to do it here if they can close it out consistently. Whiff from Mirror gives Endpoint another opportunity, and that might be it. It was looking very casual for the defense of Servette, but now one whiff gives Relating Wave a chance to pass, and he does well. The passes have been the one thing that's been outstanding for Endpoint, but they need to find one more. Relating Wave pass 2. They're in a 2v1 infield, and it's a whiff from Virtuoso. Still alive in the half, but that should be grounded. Stayed up again. Mirror couldn't get the ball into the ground, and another chance for Relating Wave. They're being given a lot more opportunities than they should have at the end of this game, but eventually it goes into the ground. And a very unconvincing win for Servette this time. Only unconvincing wins in this series, it would seem. Endpoint almost got back into this one thanks to complete whiff in defense from Mirror. But yeah, both teams here not looking like playoff contenders. Barcelona are going to be very happy to see the result that you're currently seeing on your screen, because they still have Endpoint to play, and if Endpoint play anything like this against Barca, they're not going to have a good time. Just waiting on Virtuoso to ready up, and then we'll get into game 4. Is it just me, or do the crowds seem like they're inside a can, or do they sound different? Does the crowd noises sound different today? Can crowd? Yeah, it's like they're in a tunnel or something. The crowd sound like they're in a tunnel. I don't know if that's part of the update. Game 4. Endpoint need to step up. They're bottom of the group after being swept by Veloce. And Servette have got a chance to hop up the standings and try to be another RLCS upset team as well. You know, the poor play of both teams aside today, this is just another win for RLRS against RLCS if Servette can close it out, so let's see if they can do it. Endpoint have not looked like an RLCS team today, but there's time yet for them to figure that one out, and that is a good start. Relating Wave 1-0, just over 30 seconds gone. Double commit from Servette, left the net wide open, and Relating Wave puts it straight down the middle. All game 5 today. Maybe we have another one on the cards. I just gave all the teams the same script, you see. Much easier if I just have to write 1 rather than 4. Looks like Endpoint are going for a lot more bumps already in game number 4. That might be their change to the game plan. Because if you're up against a defense who have looked shaky and have looked uncomfortable, bumping them and demoing them can only exacerbate that. Double touch from Tausi, takes the ball forward. Yagi knocks it clear. Maybe, just maybe, Servette will go back to their giving away the ball in defense kind of play style that got them a loss in game number 2. Mirror, double touch, unable to make it because he ran out of boost midair. Virtuoso was there to intercept him anyway. Well played by Tau to get the ball clear now. He's thinking about holding on to that. He's forcing Servette to come to him. Mirror does not do likewise. It's a pass out to Relating Wave, and that's the sort of touch I'm talking about. If Servette go back to their game 2 clear ball strategy, they are not going to come back here because Endpoint have shown us that they're quite happy to sit on a 1-goal lead. Yagi air dribbles it towards Mirror. It's a bit out of position on the sidewall. He is going to come back, but himself and Yagi have double committed again, and that leaves Virtuoso a freebie. I think it was headed wide though. Shooting still a difficulty for both teams. Hashtag contested, but he does actually get dunked on late there. Took a bit too long getting to the ball. You do wonder if all of the clears from Servette are just going to be sent slowly down the middle of the field. Where is the opportunity going to come from? If there's one thing that Endpoint have done well, it's rotate, not double commit. They're trying not to send 2 players at the ball. at any one point. Meanwhile, Servette struggling with their own rotation. That's twice in a row. Mirror and Yagi both jumped for the ball. Thankfully for them, Mirror did get the ball clear. Yagi looking to cross it over to Mirror. But he ran out of boost, and that's left it free. And it's a relating wave at the back post. He doubles Endpoint's lead. Still, clear balls are disastrous for Servette. They have not been able to get the ball clear at all. And you know, there's only three things that they should be looking to do right now. That's either pass and defense, dribble out of defense, or hard clear the ball over the entire Endpoint lineup. And if the hard clear isn't available, you have to try one of the other two, and they haven't looked to do that. They're always hitting the ball away from themselves. That's allowing Endpoint to come forward. That's a great play by Relating Wave. Endpoint tried to add a third to their tally. Pass down low again. Denied by Servette. Mirrors 50-50. Actually goes right into Relating Wave again. Virtuoso off target with the initial touch. It's not something he can recover, but Nachitao puts it on target. And it's just looking like a routine win for Endpoint. Virtuoso had Zafir thinking about the double touch, which never ended up happening. 3-0. And we are going to be headed to another Game 5. I said that we'd scripted all series the same. I wasn't serious, but it might end up that way. Yagi, no contact, and Mirror seeing about the same success as he has all game long with his clears. Just notice how every single clear goes right towards an Endpoint player. Right as I said that, there was one pass there from Servette. That's what they need to do better. Endpoint have been improved here. They have taken more of their chances, not hitting the crossbar and missing the target like they were in previous games. It's looking like Servette are not done with Game 4 just yet. That's a great pass by Yagi. Very well done. Zafir coming across quickly, and they've put one in with 31 seconds left. Will they find another? Will they keep this game interesting? So far, not so good with Endpoint coming out on top of this kickoff. Yagi draws in two, though. Maybe an opportunity for a counter-attack. There's just no boost on Zafir. He can't get involved here. You can see he wants to do something, but he can't because he doesn't have the boost to do so. Mirror with a similar problem, and that's going to be Game 4 going to Endpoint. It was pretty comfortable at the end of the day. And we are going to Game 5 in yet another close matchup today. But obviously, for those of you who have been watching this whole series for a different reason, we've had every other team today popping off at various times, but these two teams not so much. And let's just see if one of them can step up in the last game. Because this one is all about the Endpoint pressure. They just never let Servette out of their half, and Servette have struggled in both games 2 and 4. Both the games they lost today, both the games they got scored on early, they've really, really struggled to get the ball clear with any sort of success. They either need an early goal here or a change up on their strategy. Miss on the boost steal there from Mirror in the opposite half of the field. Relating Wave double touches middle. Zafir and Mirror with an opportunity. He's flicked by Mirror. Relating Wave backing up his teammate. A little pinch clear there for Endpoint. Comes as a welcome surprise. Mirror with a couple of 50-50s. That's done work for his team. Again, advancing all the way forward into a boost steal position. Yagi to the middle. Nobody trusted him to get the ball there. Mirror eliminates the farthest man forward for Endpoint to keep the ball in the orange half for the time being. A chance for Zafir to make something happen. He's got options here. It looks like the defender closed in a bit too quickly before he could make up his mind what he wanted to do in that position. Servette can pop off. They've shown us in the past that it is possible. In qualifying for this tournament, they beat several teams who were seated higher than them. And even against Barcelona, they were coming back in that series. Yagi leading the charge. against Endpoint. We haven't seen too much of that. It's been both teams just waiting for a misplay from their opponents. And sometimes you have to go and force it, especially against a team like Endpoint, who are trying so hard to just play patiently and perfectly in terms of rotation. Almost too perfectly at times. They're predictable. Servette having a better start than they did in the last game. Zaffair looking off the ball for players to bump. No one was there. Yagi gets dunked on. This is dangerous for Servette. Mirror panics and pops the ball. Zaffair is there. 2 minutes gone in game 5. Still scoreless. And it's Servette who have had more pressure so far, and that's key. They didn't get much of it last game. That's important as well, that no one attacked this ball for Endpoint, because that was extremely awkward for Zaffair. Zaffair not able to make contact on this one. He's been out of boost and out of position as a result. Great pass by Relating Wave. That's the pass of the game so far. Disguised it as a shot as it came in. Looks like Yagi is going to try to do likewise into the middle towards Zaffair, who couldn't shoot because of the angle. But the follow-up from Mirror is just off target. That was the best chance perhaps for Servette that we've seen all game. Oh, Virtuoso finds the angle. That would have been brilliant, but the goalkeeper respected his ability to put that one on target. Zaffair has time here. He has all the time in the world, and he does bring the ball down. Something they didn't do at all last game. Servette making the necessary changes, getting the ball out of their half as a result. Mirror downfield. Zaffair can't find him. Nachtow with a free shot, but it's well blocked actually. Zaffair recovered well. Mirror beats his man to the ball. Still no goals in the ace match, the all-important ace match. Double touch center by Yagi. No one's there to follow up. Virtuoso over one, but Zaffair behind him. Not the best clear though. Relating Wave read it. Yagi has to step in and do the same thing. It's all just clear ball attempts right now for Servette. They finally get some time on the ball. Back pass towards Yagi. He only gets it out as far as Nachtow. Relating Wave towards Virtuoso. Relating Wave's passes have been the one thing that have looked good so far for Endpoint offensively in game 5. That was another opportunity on the back end of one. Mirror with a 50-50. It's favourable for his team. Servette quickly pouncing on this one, but it's not the best clear again, and it's crossbar to the rescue for Servette. Endpoint are trying to win in the exact same way as they did last game, just keeping Servette in their half and punishing weak clear balls. Zaffair gets one high up into the air. Yagi is going to move in on this. Relating Wave intercepts, looking for the goalkeeper, doesn't get him. Mirror, meanwhile, runs the ball down the right hand side. Nachtow was in a panic there. Luckily he didn't have to do too much with it. 15 seconds left. Relating Wave again asserting his authority in the midfield. Pass infield intercepted by Mirror. A great bump onto Relating Wave by Zaffair. You don't usually see defensive bumps in that position. Mirror has to get up quick. He won't! It's on the goal line! Yagi off his own post and into overtime. After a very quiet, scoreless draw, it all happened at the very end. But the ball stays out and into overtime we go. Another game 5 decided in OT on day 4 of competition. Servette there hanging on by a thread. Now can they get the win? What a heartbreaker that would be for Endpoint. They were so close several times. Yagi going to try and knock this one on. Relating Wave awaits on the backboard to knock it clear. There is shot, more of a pass towards Nachtow's going to bring this one down. He just avoids the demo. It's wide open for Virtuoso, and he won't miss from there. He takes his time, and Nachtow with a brilliant solo play to finish the game. Double commit from Servette, left the net wide open, but well done by Nachtow. He jumped over the bump that was coming in from behind him, and with a delayed dodge got the ball past the last two defenders. Endpoint 3-2. Not looking convincing at all, but they get the job done, and they will have a chance. They're still able to qualify purely based on their own results, or their own final results, I should say, in Group C. They need to beat Barcelona to do so, but it is possible. Certainly possible. Let me just update the standings so you guys can see exactly what's happening in Group C. I'm going to keep refreshing that one. Yeah, it's another disaster for Servette. They've dropped 2-3 to Barcelona, and they've dropped 2-3 to Endpoint. So close, yet so far. You know, if they were on the other side of those game fives, they could have won that one. They could be moving on already in this group. Trying to refresh here to see. There it is. It's updated already. Wikipedia doing insanely well as usual, updating quickly. But with Servette still having to play against Veloce in Group C, that surely is the end of their group stage. They need to not only make an upset in that one, but I think they need to sweep or something. I mean, the best possible result for Servette in the Endpoint Barcelona matchup is for Endpoint to win 3-2. That way Endpoint would be on a -1 score, Barcelona would be on -2. Then Servette would actually only have to win, I think, 3-1 over Veloce to qualify in a 3-way tie, but that's looking desperate. I mean, if there's one team that you expect to beat Servette in the way that they've played, it would be Veloce. They would be the team that I picked to go up against them. But yeah, as far as I know, they can't actually qualify. They're right. Yeah, Servette are right. They're right. Yeah, they can only get one. That should be red. They should be eliminated. My mistake. Because Barcelona and Endpoint have to play each other still, one of them is guaranteed to finish off on 2 wins in the series score, and Servette can finish on 1 win at best, so they are eliminated. They join Weedham Girls as the first 2 teams eliminated from contention. Unfortunate, for sure, but there's no denying, based on what we saw, that they did not look convincing. They had their moments, but they've got a lot to improve on. Defensively, they give the ball away so much, and they just end up in heaps of trouble as a result. And you know, they weren't the only team in that series with offensive accuracy issues, but they did still have their own problems. The new crowd noises are strange. Refresh for the red bar on Servette. Thank you, Luca. Here we go. Yeah, thank you for that one. So Servette are eliminated. Endpoint would have actually still had a chance to go through if they'd lost 3-2 there, I think. In fact, yes, they would have. Okay, we're just going to have a post-game interview with Endpoint coach Eclipse before we get into the last match of the day, which will be RCD versus Reciprocity. Looking forward to that one. Hello. There he is, Eclipse, Endpoint coach. I have to ask you, honestly, what are your thoughts on that performance from Endpoint? Is that what you and the team are looking to do on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis?
I think the answer is pretty obviously no. Like we played very bad, abnormally bad today. It doesn't help that the boys have to all come back from school on a weekday, so it doesn't help. But it was a difficult one for us because Servette is an unorthodox team to play against as well. They play very different.
What is it in particular, if you want to share anything about Servette, that's difficult to get used to?
It's difficult to get used to because, like, when they... how do I explain it? So basically, when they're in defense, they're quite good at it, which is very unusual for a team in the RLS, firstly. And they always manage to work their way out. And today, in a couple of the games, you pointed out in your cast, they kept on booming it to us, which helped us out. But in against Barca, they were getting it into corners and stuff, and then allowing themselves to chase it, and they do that quite well. And in the 3 games that we won, they stopped doing that. But in the 2 first games, they were doing that really well, and it was catching us off guard because it's not as common to see. You see a lot more dribbling out of the defense and stuff in RLCS at the minute, so it just caught us off guard to start off with. Yeah,
now you do still have a chance to qualify from the group. You need to just simply beat Barcelona to do that. You have played Barcelona already in RLCS this season, am I right?
Yes, yeah, we played Barca already.
What was the score? I've forgotten. I know Barca
They won 3-0. They did, yeah.
3-0. So obviously looking to make significant changes to that result in this tournament. But are the boys confident? Do they believe that they've got what it takes to beat Barcelona, who have themselves been pretty shaky, not convincing at all, versus Veloce or Servette? So maybe an opportunity, perhaps?
Yeah, well, for us, we do believe that we can do it. And that is like the belief that we're having going into it. Because against them in the RLCS, we still had quite a lot of nerves. It was our second ever series. They were like, big names. The boys being rookies coming into RLS anyway, being like extra rookie coming into RLCS.
Yeah.
We were, I wouldn't say scared, but we were nervous to start off with, and I think that had an effect. And I think we'll be much more comfortable playing an RLCS team again. And we've put in a lot of work in the last couple of weeks, so hopefully we can turn it around.
I don't know if you caught the matches earlier, but Notorious Legion, Sandrock Gaming, both also getting 3-2 wins. Did you get a chance to see those teams play? Or in their other matches, maybe?
Well, I've seen all of them play in the Invitational already. I saw bits and pieces of the S&G Sandrock game. That is an interesting matchup. Like I think Sandrock is another team that does a bit like Servette, where they catch you off guard when you first start playing them, because like they don't play a very traditional style of Rocket League. And same for Notorious Legion. I think that's why they've succeeded so well against the 3 RLCS teams. And I got to give props to Notorious Legion, actually. They're quite a good little team. I feel like with a bit of time they'll get even better, and I think they've shown that in this tournament so far. So, and I think Sandrock has the same. I think Sandrock does have the ability to play at a very good level, as shown by the fact that they've beaten Sandrock and Medium Girls, right?
Yeah, they beat Singularity and Medium Girls. Still have to play Vitality, so they're not qualified yet. I mean, it seems like Singularity have to play Medium Girls. So if they win that and Vitality beat Sandrock, it could be Singularity and Vitality advancing, which would be heartbreaking for Sandrock, but it's still within their hands if they qualify, just like it is for Endpoint for you guys against Barcelona. Just got to show up later in the week. That match is tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow at the exact same start time, 7 p.m. GMT. So we'll see you then. Good luck in that matchup, and congratulations today on the win. Yeah, well, if we get a win there, then we'll be talking to you about that win and that qualification to playoffs. But we got one more match today, so we're gonna go and get that one started. Is there anywhere or anyone you want to shout out before we go do that?
I'm gonna say Rockets, because when I got in here, he added me in the chat to be like Pog, so I'm gonna give him a shout out.
There you go. Everybody else, you should have added Laura Clips. That is your Twitch.
You got yourself a shout out. Yeah, Laura Clips.
Yeah, look out for him. But yeah, congratulations again, and good luck tomorrow in your final league play match.
All right, cheers, Johnny.
Cheers. So that was Eclipse, the coach of Endpoint. He obviously, and Endpoint as well as a team, are not delighted with how they played today, but they got the result that they were looking for. So their qualification is still in their own hands.